Hey there, welcome to Heart Magic. It is I, David. I've just finished up surgery a couple days ago, and I'm just sitting in the hospital recovering, so I figured I'd make a video and tell people about kind of how things have gone. So, long story short, I had the Inspirus Resilia tissue valve, I had my root repaired, and I had a mini thoracotomy, meaning they went in through my right chest cavity, collapsed the lung, and did the operation that way, so no zipper down the middle. And overall, it was a great success. I did think that they were going to be making my aorta and my root smaller. They actually called me the night before, being like, hey, would you rather do open heart surgery to replace your whole aorta and do a Bentall? And I was like, why are you telling me this the night before, whatever. They said you could do either one. And so I just stuck with the original plan. So I have the repaired root and I have the Inspirus Resilia valve. No one in this hospital is optimistic that it's going to last me the rest of my life. However, to be honest, I kind of do. They said, we're not worried about your aorta or the root repair. In fact, the scar tissue may make it more structurally sound. We're more concerned about the tissue valve lasting you the rest of your life. So that's why they put the biggest one in there that they could, which is part of why they kept the aorta bigger, I guess, is what they said. So it has better hemodynamics and blood flow through it, so it's not struggling as the blood flows through it. So I would call that a success. And it sounds good, but, I'm just on the other side of this thing. Those were changes that were made mid-surgery that I didn't think were going to be happening, just because I had read a couple of articles about aortoplasty and repairing, and really they didn't repair my aorta, they repaired the root. So it's kind of a different thing that I'm still trying to wrap my mind around and make sure that all of it makes sense. But the mini surgery, the mini incision went great. I went in, went to sleep, woke up, and they put a CPAP machine on me as I was waking up. They took the tube out, put the CPAP machine on me, trying to get me to breathe right. And I did not understand the point of it. And they still insist that it was the right call to make. And then afterwards, they put like an oxygen tube mask in my nose, which was much more comfortable and made much more sense to me, because I'm like, let me breathe, not this stupid machine that I'm not getting in rhythm with this thing. I didn't understand it. So that was an unexpected thing. But, lasted, barely remember it. And then the rest of it comes out. One thing I did not know is that the mini thoracotomy, the keyhole procedure, is more painful in some ways than doing down the breastbone. The breastbone, I guess, has its own pains, and it lasts longer. But the mini, they have these drainage tubes in you that are in a different way, and man, it was so painful having those in there. And then when they drained them, it made like a suction vacuum in my chest cavity, and it hurt. But long story short, those came out very, very quickly as well, within a day after. And so far I haven't had any atrial fibrillation. My heart rate has been pretty good, and you can hear me breathing. And I think my lungs are just extremely swollen, and trying to recover from the experience. Got a lot of bruises on my body, and I've got these incisions, and I'll just show what I can as best I can. But there's a couple of places, and then obviously they have the neck aspect, which is pretty common for heart surgeries. So, because that's a faster way to get the medicines into the heart area. So, the surgeon was really advocating that I do a Ross procedure or that I do a mechanical valve and a root repair, but I chose this because I did not want the blood thinners with the mechanical valve. After having the brain aneurysm, I realized what a risk that could be if I ever did get endocarditis again. And then the other reason is because I did want to keep the native tissue on my root and my aorta if I could. I just thought that they were going to be making it smaller, which, according to the articles that I've read, help it last longer. But, again, according to them, they're more concerned about my valve, the Inspirus Resilia valve, wearing out, not the aorta. I have to say, all things considered, with the lifestyle aspects of it, I think that will be the key to making this valve last a very long time. Low sugar, good quality protein, exercise, stay away from smoking, alcohol as much as possible. And they say that I can do all of those things. They said that I can literally smoke obviously I can if I want to. I was talking about, I just asked her, I'm like, if I take a puff of a joint every 6 months, is that like a big issue? She said no. So, and I don't even plan to be honest. I was just curious. I don't want to have to go through this again if I can help it. And I want to be as healthy as possible. I want to be as energetic as possible. And so far, so good. I feel less pulsating in my eyes. I feel less pulsating throughout my body. And it feels like the pressures have stabilized inside of my body, which is great. Because my chest cavity is still very swollen, it's weird to breathe, it's weird to get up, and I have to be careful with my arm, my right arm, that I'm not using it to pull or push anything in any serious way for a couple of weeks. And so other than that, it's done, the whole experience of getting the surgery is done. I'm not putting pressure on myself to go get more stem cells, although I would love that. But, they're expensive and you got to go overseas and whatnot. And I definitely am interested in doing fasting, exercise, and getting the right amounts of vitamin C and good healthy fats that are going to keep my arteries nice and healthy. And I'm excited. I'm excited to feel like I have my life back. You know what I mean? I'm excited to feel like I have the ability to move forward on things that I felt like I just felt so drained and worried and all of this stuff. There's lots of pressure on me. But, I share this journey with other people so that they can understand what it's like. And, what was right for me may not necessarily be the choice that you make. The choice that I made may not be the one that you make. And overall, it was a good experience. I'm at Northwestern Hospital in Chicago, and it's been a great experience. The staff is very nice. The facilities are very nice. They're very thorough in the way that they medically do everything. So overall, a success. And I was definitely thrown off by the whole, not making my aorta smaller or putting a sleeve around it or anything during the repair process. But, they just didn't want to do it. And, the fact that they are more worried about the valve than my aorta, I hope that says something. But like I said, I feel like I have as much of my body intact still. And I was not getting, I was getting worsening symptoms because of the endocarditis that I had last year, in the sense that my mitral valve and my tricuspid valve were starting to leak a little bit. But they said, repair this valve and those should shrink up too. So who knows, maybe my aorta and everything else is going to start to get into a new place and a new shape. And like they said, we have to do scans so that we get a new baseline of what my heart is like now. So I feel really good. I've been walking around the facility, the floor, and they say that I'm recovering extremely well. And like I said, today's Wednesday. It was only 2 days ago that I had the surgery. And they keep talking about, well, when are you getting out of here in a couple of days and blah, blah, blah. So I'm getting out quick. So great experience. I feel like I definitely do feel like I have my life back, even though I still have to observe and keep an eye on this for the rest of my life. That was going to be the case anyway. So I think I made the right choice. I think that even on the other side of it, feeling like things are slightly different than what I thought. They did shrink my aorta, so a little bit, or the root at least, and so, and they said that it should have better hemodynamics this way. So, we'll see what the scans bring up. I'll actually, hopefully, I'll be able to post some numbers from that to give you guys an idea and see if something to compare against when you're researching your stuff. Anyway, this was a very tolerable procedure to get, and it's not easy, but it wasn't so hard. And I have like I said, I have lots of pressure on myself to work and to do all these things. I think I'm going to go back to work within a month. They said that should be fine. And I don't have a hard job. I'm a freaking professional magician, you know what I mean? So as long as I can carry my gear and have my wind about me, I can do a show. So, and then otherwise the rest of it comes down to rest, which I definitely plan on continuing to do. Anyway, thanks to anybody who watches this channel and tries to inform yourselves about this condition. And good luck with yours, and good luck with your surgeries if you have them, and good luck with your lifestyle adjustments. Very important stuff. I think I want to do more work on that moving forward, is talk about the lifestyle aspects of it, because there's, I think, a lot more to say there. Anyway, thanks for watching Heart Magic. I'll see you guys later.